Good morning, wrestling fans. Today is Friday, June 9th, 2023. Welcome everyone to this Friday morning episode. Hope everyone has been having a great morning so far as we get ready for tonight. On this Friday night, the regular Friday shows, WWE Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage, but also tonight we have Impact Wrestling Against All Odds on Impact Plus, Fight TV, and YouTube for Ultimate Insiders. Tonight, Impact Wrestling Against All Odds will be live from Columbus, Ohio. And we have a pretty good card lined up for us tonight. And at this time, I'm going to go over that card for Against All Odds. And we start things off, since we are in this state tonight, we are going to have an Ohio street fight with the Design, Diener, Khan, and Allen Angels taking on the reuniting OVE, Ohio versus Everyone, Sami Callihan, Jake Christ, and Madman Fulton returning to Impact Wrestling. Haven't seen him in a little bit, so I'm sure this one is going to be a lot of brawling all over, probably fighting to the crowd. I wouldn't be surprised. Probably a lot of weapons in this one, and this one could possibly close the feud between Sami Callihan and the Design. So for this one, I think we're going to see OVE victorious and get the win over the Design in this Ohio street fight. And next up, we have an Impact Wrestling Digital Media Championship match. Joe Hendry taking on Dirty Dango. The build-up for this one in recent weeks comes from where we found out that it was Dirty Dango who was the one that attacked Santino Marella in the back. And as of late, he's been cutting these promos on Impact Wrestling about how he hates wrestling fans, and he makes fun of wrestlers who go online and complain on Twitter. For this one, I wouldn't really be surprised if they have Dirty Dango go over and get the title in this one, but also I'd have to say my pick for this one is Joe Hendry. He's been on a roll lately. He's over with the crowd. They love the theme song and everything, waving their arms around during his entrance. So I think they're gonna keep the Digital Media Championship on Joe Hendry, at least for a little longer anyway. We got another championship match. The Impact Wrestling X Division Championship is on the line as the X Division Champion. Trey Miguel takes on one half of the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin. This one, for sure, will be a very good match, I bet. With these two guys, I'm sure you're definitely going to see a really good match with these two. And as far as a pick or a prediction goes, I'd have to say that Chris Sabin, I would like to see him in this one and become the X Division champion once again. But I kind of feel that he might, like, as the veteran, might, I guess you could say, do the honors and put Trey Miguel over in this one. And I think Trey Miguel is going to retain and have a good, pretty long run with the X Division Championship and keep it spray painted a little longer. So my pick for this X Division Championship match is Trey Miguel, even though I wouldn't mind seeing Chris Sabin win another X Division Championship tonight at Against All Odds. We have Knockouts tag team action taking place tonight. It is Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans. They will have Jay Vidal in their corner, and they are taking on the two women who will compete in the Knockouts Championship match at Slammiversary, Trinity, and the Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo. I'm sure the baby faces are going to get the win in this one. Should be a very entertaining match. But for this one, I kind of wouldn't be surprised at the end if they kind of have a stare down after the match or something, since they will be facing off for the Knockouts Championship at Slammiversary to start leading up to that match at the pay-per-view. So I'm sure they are definitely going to work well enough together to get the win in this tag match. But in the end, after the match, they might kind of have some kind of stare down or something. And next up, this should be a good match here. Eddie Edwards taking on Frankie Kazarian, two veterans who have been around for quite a while. Frankie Kazarian, definitely a veteran in TNA/Impact Wrestling, has returned recently, and I think, as for a prediction, I don't know about this one actually. I have to say I'm kind of in the middle. But one thing I can predict is I'm sure this will be a very fun match to watch. And the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Championships are on the line as champions ABC, representing the Bullet Club, Ace Austin and Chris Bay, take on the Good Hands, Jason Hotch and John Schuyler, who are now aligned with Brian Myers. I see the champions, Chris Bay and Ace Austin, retaining in this one. The Good Hands are just what that name says. They are a couple good hands, a couple of good young talents, but I think ABC are retaining the titles tonight. Very impressed by both Austin and Bay, both two great wrestlers, and they work very well together as a tag team. They've had a good run as tag team champions in Impact, and as of right now, facing off against the Good Hands anyway, they are the baby faces, and they're getting over with the crowd, so I see them going over to retain the titles. Also, we have the first ever Knockouts dog collar match, or at least I think it's the first ever. Killer Kelly taking on Masha Slamovich. I'm sure that one is going to be brutal. They've been brawling and fighting all over Impact Wrestling as of late. So I'm sure they're going to make this one brutal as well. I wouldn't even be surprised if we might see some blood in this one. You can never tell. And we have another first up next. The first ever 8-4-1 match to determine the number one contender for the Impact Wrestling World Championship at Slammiversary. And this one will feature Bully Ray, Jonathan Gresham, Heath, Nick Aldis, Speedball Mike Bailey, Moose, PCO, and Rich Swann. The rules for this one are, I would say, pretty simple, well, they are for me anyway. They starts off as an 8-man tag team match, 4-on-4. We're going to have Bully Ray, Jonathan Gresham, and Heath, and Nick Aldis take on Speedball Mike Bailey, PCO, and Rich Swann. Like I said, 8-man tag team match. And then once one team wins this 8-man tag, it will become a 4-way match. And then there will be one man left, and that winner of the 4-way match will be the number one contender for the Impact World Championship at Slammiversary. And in the main event of Against All Odds for the Impact Wrestling World Championship, we have Steve Macklin defending against the other half of the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley, which I'm sure this one will be a really good main event. And I would love to see Alex Shelley become the Impact Wrestling World Champion tonight and have a good run with that title. But if I had to take a guess or make a prediction, I'd have to say that I think Steve Macklin is going to retain and go on the Slammiversary to defend against the winner of the 8-4-1 match in the main event. But again, would love to see Alex Shelley win this one, become Impact World Champion for the first time in his career. And both Motor City Machine Guns single matches, championship matches tonight. You never know, they could both end up singles champions. I didn't predict that, but you never know. That's all tonight. Impact Wrestling Against All Odds on Impact Plus, Fight TV, and YouTube for Ultimate Insiders. Make sure to check that out tonight. I hope to have, since this is, I guess you could call it Impact's version of a premium live event on Impact Plus, so I do plan on having a live episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Not sure what time, because my plan is to watch Against All Odds live, and then after go on my Sling DVR, watch Friday Night SmackDown, watch Rampage, and then start with the podcast. So hopefully everything will work out and run smoothly. Until then, I have to go. I'm at work now. I went a little long talking about Against All Odds. So I will talk to everyone tomorrow morning for the Saturday episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. But until then, have a great pro wrestling day.